So John Silver introduces Hangman Page. He comes out. There's all these signs. The crowd is chanting, "You deserve it." And he says, "I didn't deserve it. I earned it," leading to a "You earned it" chant from this crowd in Virginia.
It was beautiful to see. Absolutely beautiful to see. And I don't think they could have picked a better destination for something like this to occur. I think, under different leadership, I imagine there might have been at least a little bit of temptation to have Adam Page win that championship after that first title challenge 2 years ago. And at that point, the crowd was not as into him near a tenth of what they are today. Certainly a reaction like this would not have occurred, but this felt just totally so good. The man just doesn't really feel like he's the champion of a promotion. He feels like he's a representative of every single person who's been watching AEW since the beginning. This really is like their first full story from beginning to end, starting from that first press conference when he stated his desire to win the championship. And here it is, the culmination of it all.
He says, "You are my boss," and he wants to celebrate National Cowboy Shit Day before turning his attention to Bryan Danielson. And out comes Danielson to congratulate Hangman Page. He is super excited for the match, but also surprised and disappointed that it's not Kenny Omega. And Page says, "Yeah, well, I beat his ass, and I did it in less than 30 minutes. The crowd is all chanting cowboy shit, and Danielson gets booed when he says, "I don't want to start a beef, but you aren't facing someone that's going to dress up like a Ghostbuster on Halloween. I'm coming to kick some ass. I've been out wrestling weekly. You just flap your gums. And you Dark Order rejects with your vlogs. Where have vlogs gotten our society?" That part he did not add. But he says he wrestled the very next day after winning the championship at WrestleMania. The crowd boos. He goes, "Of course, Virginia boos hard work." And Page suggests that they wrestle tonight. The whole place is chanting yes. And Daniel says, "Normally I'd be up for it. I'm ready to wrestle, but you are not," as he goes over his attire. "And I've heard your long list of excuses for failing, and I don't want to beat you and hand you a ready-made excuse by not being ready." Page says Virginia is for lovers, but I will still fight. And they go head to head. There's a pull apart, and Danielson yells, "Have your little friend stop us. You don't want to fight. I knew that I'd kick your ass." And Page gets free and goes after him and ends the segment with the pull apart between them. I thought Bryan Danielson was phenomenal on this show.
I thought the segment was awesome, and Bryan was just absolutely brilliant. He was able to turn himself from one of the company's biggest baby faces at the start of the show into one of its biggest heels of the evening. And I think he was able to do it while maintaining the integrity of his character.
He didn't adjust anything. He's the guy that from the very first night in said, "I'm here to test all these guys because I think I'm the best in the world." And that's been his thing every week, beating these guys. He didn't deviate from any of this. It was just that this is an audience that doesn't want to hear it when his target is Hangman Page. Like, they did not go out of their way to try and make him a heel. It was just a natural extension of the Danielson you've had of the past 2 months.
Yeah, they gave him some really excellent, super simple material for him to go after Page. Like, he simply saying, "I preferred to face Kenny," I thought was excellent, because, the subtext is that he thinks Kenny is still better than Hangman Page. Having Page dig back at him for not being able to beat Kenny in 30 minutes. And then Bryan teasing him about, defending the belt after he won the championship and bringing up WrestleMania. That was the biggest heat-getting line. It was his mention of WrestleMania and any of his WWE accomplishments, which this crowd absolutely hated. And then Bryan, kind of cherry on top, saying that he would fight him tonight, but he doesn't want Page to have an excuse. It was, I think, really smart and just the right amount of tension building between the two without having Bryan go full-blown heel.
Yeah, Danielson, all he needed to add to this was the fact that here we are in your hometown and you're staring at a guy who is on WWE Creative.
Yes, absolutely. There you go. It was just a brilliant exercise in crowd psychology, I thought. Really great segment.
It was terrific.